Well, speaking of enjoying home runs, I have been watching the Diamondbacks for the last week and watching Christian Walker absolutely destroy Dodger Stadium. 7 home runs in a 5 game span. I believe he has homered in every single game against the Dodgers this year. He
Mhm.
just owns that franchise right now. It was so bad when I was watching the series. He almost seemed embarrassed rounding the bases after his home runs. Like head down, like the look on his face almost looked like he was embarrassed that he did it again. Like it was out of control.
Oops, he did it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Like
he's
it's a song
special,
or
man.
something.
He's impressive.
I
He's impressive.
And when he's
absolutely
locked in,
not.
though, like he gets locked in like nobody else. Like he'll go ice cold for a while, but like when he is locked in, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, it was like there was I think he hit his, I don't know, second home run in the second game, and the camera pans to Dave Roberts, and he's sitting there just like scratching his head, like, why are we even pitching to this guy
Well,
right now?
that's like when Raffy Devers hit the second one last night. They panned to Boo, and he's just like sitting there, no look on his face, just like
Yeah,
looking at the bleachers, like really.
what do
And
you? Yeah.
it was it a few weeks ago that John Boy was talking to him, like, who's the one player that you like are most worried about? He's like Devers. His immediate reaction was Devers.
Yeah,
That's the one player that always hurts me. And he
yeah,
just, I mean, Raffy Devers owns the Bronx like Christian Walker owns LA. Like for
yeah,
whatever reason, those guys go there and they just light it up.
yeah. As long
It
as
just
they
works.
don't go there in those uniforms, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
okay
Exactly.
with it. So. Speaking of another crazy hot hitters, we got a couple coming up. Jose Miranda last week was 12 for 12 at one point.
Yeah, is that good?
Tie
Like is 12 for 12 good?
it's all right. 12 hits, 12 at bats, ties an MLB record. He flew out in his 13th at bat, but I mean that's nuts. He had 14 hits last week. Obviously was the player of the week, but
Flew out. Couldn't get 13 in a row. Come on, man.
it's a bomb. What a
Well, that was like,
bomb.
you remember that weekend last year when like J Rod, like all of a sudden it was like August, like
That
turned his
was
whole season
nuts.
around in like 4 days.
Like 17 for 19, wasn't he? Something like
Yeah.
that.
And he had a
Like,
bunch of bombs in it too.
yeah,
It wasn't just
That's
singles.
turned his
crazy.
whole season around like in a long weekend. I mean, like, and
Absolutely nuts.
Miranda, like that 12 for 12, that completely changes the direction of your season.
That's got to look bigger than a beach ball at that point.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're going 12 for 12, dude. It's just like, here,
Like
just put
imagine
the
the
tee out at home plate. Let me get
yeah.
myself out.
Imagine the confidence going to the dish. You're like, I know they're not getting me out. Like, I've had 9 hits in a row, 8 hits in a row. Like,
Crazy.
that's got to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah. And then also, I hate to give the Dodgers credit here, but Will Smith homered in 4 straight at bats. I mean, that's also
And
insane.
not a single one of them was a cheapie. They
No.
they were all crushed.
That
Yeah, I'm a huge
reminded
Will Smith guy. I think he's
Yeah.
one of the most underrated players in baseball for the past like 3 years, 4 years.
He is.
You don't hear about Will Smith. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because he doesn't have like a fun name to say or he's not like flat. I don't know.
It's because
But,
he
like,
smacked Chris Rock, man.
But
Yeah,
behind
he's
the
not
dish,
he's not getting jiggy with it.
behind the dish, he's incredible. At the plate, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Like he's just a really, really good baseball player.
Yeah, agree. And an impressive lineup too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just,
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because like he's a guy I feel like that kind of gets forgotten because he's always been around much bigger headline type players. And you've said it for years, Sean. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like he's fine. And you've just continued to beat the drum. But every time I look
So
up,
good.
like his numbers are stupid, and he's in the
So
middle of a
good.
pennant race. It's like, all right, maybe Sean's right after all. Maybe this guy is that good
So
because
good.
he's always been like the second or third fiddle everywhere he's been.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I hear about Will Smith a lot as an Angels fan. Yeah, right next door.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be nice if the Angels signed players like that?
Mm-hmm.
Are the Angels still an MLB franchise?
Hey Jay, what do you think about Art Moreno while we're on the topic? Well, we'll move on, but go ahead and leave us a comment. What do you think about Artie Moreno as an Angels fan? Like, do you like him? Do you hate him? Where are you at with him?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well,
I'd love to actually hear an Angels fan's perspective on Artie
Yeah.
Moreno.
absolutely. All right. Brian Reynolds and Rowdy Tellez in that absolute Pirates shellacking of the Mets last year. And there was like 19-2 or something like that. They're the first teammates to hit multiple homers in the same game, with one of them being a grand slam.
Wow.
Yeah, I had that game on. Like none of the home runs were cheap. Like all of them were just absolutely mushed. Mets were up at one point in that game 3-2, which is like hilarious. But yeah, dude, it was crazy. And it was just, you talk about Miranda was like, he was 12 for 12, 14 hits in the week. The ball that must look like bigger than a beach ball, right? I would say that day for the Pirates, that whole lineup, it was just soft toss. It was just soft toss. Like everything was middle. These guys weren't missing. They weren't fouling it off. They weren't mishitting. They weren't, fouling it back to the backstop. Like they were just squaring everything up. Like it was just one of those. It was just one of those. And those, particularly too, Reynolds and Tellez, man, that was impressive.
Rowdy Tellez makes incredibly like angry, loud contact.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he gets one, like it's not hit a little bit. Like it's a bomb.
Yeah.